He's crazy looking. He's he's a gardener.
I know, but is that a phone?
He's like a tablet.
Oh.
He's a tablet gardener.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. I was gonna say tending Thursday, tending. I was trying to find clever words, but we named this show. I'm gonna keep calling it a show. Tending to Trending, which stands for tending to your website on this National Pull Weeds Out of Your Garden Day.
Yeah, so
not
the National Day is there's a few of them today. I don't know if you want to pull them up, but National Weeds Day is one of them. And I know I have to go to the garden and pull out some weeds, especially after all the rain up here in upstate New York. But
let's open it up, see what it is.
Oh, National Random Acts of Light Day.
National Kitchen Klutzes of America Day. That's pretty cool.
Oh, Sewing Machine Day.
Wow.
Even the sewing machines have their own day, which they should, I think.
Yeah. Career Nurse Assistance Day. Well, good one.
Shout out to the nurses out there.
Yeah, we know a few nurses.
Yeah, my best friend's a nurse. My sister-in-law's a nurse. It's good to have nurses in the family.
Yeah, nurses and lawyers and police, cops, I guess. National Weed Your Garden Day is the day that we're going to concentrate on them for today. And we're relating it to weeding out the bad stuff on your website, whether it's homepage or internal. Just looking at your website from a user perspective and weeding out all those things that are diverting their attention or just not doing the job right and correctly.
Exactly. And a lot of times to figure out what these elements are in your site, it's important to do a website audit and take a look at what's working, what's not working. And we always kind of, if we're able to get access to analytics to see where users are falling within their journey. So there's always going to be certain pages that are more trafficked than others.
Yeah. So with analytics, Search Console, Google Tag Manager, and more recently we've been doing Hotjar on a few of our client sites just to see, because you can get the analytics and you can see the user journey, where they're clicking, but there's nothing like that visual representation of their hesitations that they make, or scrolling back up or waiting in certain sections, and you want to see where those pitfalls are, and also the successes, know where the conversions are happening. So we've been using Hotjar a lot more. I've been using it and seeing where.
And just to give people an idea, what's really cool is it's such a great visual. So it's a little creepy because you're recording the user movements throughout a page and you're seeing where they're clicking and you can see it all there. There's a dashboard and it has a list of recordings. You click on a recording and it takes you through. And then it will show how long that a user will be on a specific page when they bounce off, and then I'll show you the next recording. So you can see per day, how are people interacting with your website? And it could be frustrating too, especially when they click on things that are supposed to be clicked. So we try to, review all of what we're seeing and kind of make determinations for things we could improve.
Yeah, and they do a few other things. They do heat map recording, so it'll show you without watching the videos where are the most clicked, where are the least clicked areas of your website, where are the negatives or their what are they called? Rage clicks. So when somebody's clicking,
Yeah, rage. Yeah.
they call rage clicks.
It's such a funny term because it's true, right? When you're trying to click and then you click over and over again, they're calling it rage. So
They also do surveys. I have not utilized it just because I think that nobody does random surveys on a website. Like, what did you think of your experience on this website? We should try it. We'll probably be surprised, just like how we watch Hotjar and we're surprised that user the way they behave. Right.
yeah, and I think it's really different depending on your industry and your business. If it's some type of site that provides educational material for a specific topic, like let's say you love dogs and it's all about dog lovers and tips about your dogs and all these things, you find that that user is going to be interacting more, learning more, spending more time on the page. When you're certain services, it's just you'll see totally different results.
Yeah.
So it's exciting when there's so many recordings and there's so much interaction and they spend all this time on your page. But it really depends on what the intent is and what your industry is to see what those results are.
Yeah, and you can tag things too. So when you see there are rage clicks or certain patterns, you can tag them all and then view in one funnel that user's journey. Did they convert? Did they bounce off a certain page? So you can really narrow it down to different actions and different types of actions too. So
Yeah, there's a lot of the Hotjar. We've just kind of touched the surface on it. But with anything, like with the premium version, there's so many more tools that you can take advantage of,
yeah,
which we still have to actually look into that and see what if there's any value in those other things. But recordings is where it's at. Heat maps, I could see that being valuable too.
Yeah, I think I love the recordings because it's more just looking in on it. I know it's not the bigger picture would be the heat maps and see overall where are people clicking. But when you look at those recordings, you can really get into the mind, I think, of the user and see what are they doing. Oh, okay. Now I know how to fix that by looking at them.
Oh, yeah, or they're clicking here, let's make it a button and have
Yeah.
it go to a relevant page.
Yeah.
So those are really valuable takeaways, I think, when you use this a tool like this.
Yeah, multiple people kept clicking on my face on our website, so I made it a link to my profile page. Rage clicking too. I don't know if they're trying to get somewhere or just delete me off the page. All right, let me get that screen off. All right. You like my farmer emoji?
I know, I feel left out that I don't have one.
You just start adding them. I think you can still add it in your settings.
Yeah, so let's just talk about the garden. We got our first harvest.
Oh.
So it's so crazy when you start gardening right in your backyard and you see certain things like this pepper. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's actually really tiny. And it's like the tiniest pepper ever. But it's fully done and it tastes really good and fresh. But I'm just like wondering, like, are these mini peppers from the seed, or is this like how a pepper is supposed to look? Same with the garlic too.
Yeah, the garlic
Everything
was.
seems to be a bit smaller than what you see in the market.
Yeah, most likely it's like
Something to think about.
GMO.
Yeah, so all
They
natural pepper.
fatten up all the chickens like that too. They don't really normally look like that.
So
It's really it tastes like the ground, but that's probably the way it should taste. Not in such a bad way. It's more of a stronger, earthy. That's probably a better way to describe it. Earthy. It has an earthy flavor. That pepper, baby bell cheese.
And you get a lot of good nutrition from just having a pepper not cooked. You get even more, just so you know, as a
That's
snack
true.
and things. We've been giving our son like peppers with like sliced peppers, and you put hummus on the side if you haven't tried it. It's really good.
It's the best.
So we definitely have to clean out our garden, clean out the weeds of our garden. because it's getting pretty crazy.
Yeah, we've been metaphorically cleaning the weeds of our garden on the website as well. I stayed up really late last night I've been doing pages over, service pages, and we've been looking at them in the same way we're just talking about what are people doing? How do we reflect that in the website and make it a better user experience and capture more conversions and more non-bounces?
Yeah, and for us, it's like we're looking at data, we're seeing how people are interacting, and then we're pivoting when we need to. So it's very much a growth-driven design process where you launch a site and it's a starting point, but the real test is when users come and actually interact with the pages. And then as our business evolves, we need to evolve the website to support that. So a lot of the times we work with our clients and we launch, it is with a complete understanding that this is a design, but we can always adjust it based on what actually happens after you launch because you can't tell the future. You don't know how things are going to hit certain ways. So having that understanding and that conversations, understanding that things can be updated over time based on once we get enough data to measure it.
Yeah, I say sometimes it's good to just get out because we all know it'll never be perfect. It's always a work in progress. You could put something out there and it's going to look beautiful, but it might do the exact opposite of your older site at first. You might say, well, that did not work. So you have to look at what people are actually doing and adapt. It's one design doesn't fit all. Or what's the other saying? If they build it, they will not come. It's like what's the Field of Dreams. But you gotta like keep going at it. And I think the other part of it is SEO, where Google and other search engines want to know that this site is active and being worked on. So the more linking, go back into old pages, link new pages, and vice versa, and re-index it. Google knows that this is I hate going to Google. I kind of just want to say like search engines or anything that's ingesting it knows that this site is ongoing. It's not static, and it's continuously evolving. Where'd I go? We just disappeared.
I see you.
Oh, look like we went away.
Maybe you disappeared.
Yeah,
Did your screen disappear?
Yeah, it's doing that Wi-Fi thing again. But yeah, so attending to your garden of your website is ultra important to keep going and to not stop and not say like that's the site, it is what it is, because the more you leave it behind, the older it gets, obviously, but the more you could be doing, even just an hour a day. I mean, maybe that's too much for non-people, but maybe 30 minutes a day, just dedicating some time to tending the garden, pulling out the weeds, making baby peppers and dipping them in hummus.
So some things that we've noticed, which is really kind of surprising, that a lot of the recordings we've reviewed, a user will be quick to jump off the page in the sense of it's not just our sites, but an average amount of time that people stay on the site is 3 seconds. So you really have to capture people's attention, give them the information they're looking for right from the bat. So that goes with your homepage.
Yeah.
Every client we have, everyone knows that the website, the top page is the homepage. I've never seen it any other way. Have you?
No, not really. I mean, again, it's probably dependent on the industry. There's probably ones that have their location pages that are more popular, but yeah, in general, 85 or something % of users are just landing on the homepage, and you got to, like Raina said, capture their attention, as we all know, like above the fold and make it. But I think one really important thing that companies forget is to make it so simple in terms that a person like me, who skims through everything very, very quickly, make it evident exactly what you do. And by that, I mean, not just your words that make you understand it, or your inner family or spouse, their opinion, but you should go outward and ask other people that maybe aren't in the industry fully, or could be in the position of a hiring manager that's looking to purchase your services, they're not gonna know the terminology usually of, the ins and outs of, especially industries that are kinda, like, specialized. Manufacturing, I see it a lot where the title and everything about it, it's so abstract and so non-direct that anybody coming to the site, if they don't know exactly what it's about, they're gonna be lost and get off the site really quick. So even if you think it's too simple, too layman term, then take that back. Don't think that.
Yeah, so definitely being able to get all your information simplified and easy to digest. And then I would also say adding different visuals, so not just copy for the scanners out there. I'm a scanner. To do all visual for the visual people, to incorporate icons and things like that to bring everything together and create a real complete picture.
Yeah, and one other thing, I'm sure there's a few other things, but adding on social proof is a big one, and not just like here are my latest tweets, but those icons at the top. For me, when I go to a website, a lot of times like I skim so much that I just want to know that they're an active company. So I'll click through to the social and see if it's kind of, I don't know, is that even it's probably not a good method to judge a company, but see if they're active on social. To me, that proves that they
Yes,
are.
I mean, I think that's good because especially if you're hiring someone who says they're an expert in their field, you also want to see if it's an agency, like, well, what are their posts doing? Like, how are their social media doing? How are they going to provide a service and excel on what I do if there's no activity on the social channel? So I think I do that too. Like, I'll go on and do some baseline stalking of their page and try to figure out, like, who is this person or who's this business and who do they work with, and is there something that they could help me with? Or
yeah, definitely. Yeah, even if it's not like a lot of interaction, like comments, because it is hard for businesses on social. Almost no matter what industry it is, unless there's already that cult following or just like the personality behind the business, it's hard to sell yourself because nobody's going on social to look for businesses. They want to see stuff from their friends or whatever they're on there for, so it is hard. But I think just seeing that, they posted within the last year, especially depending on whatever we're looking for. If it's a pizza place, I still look at it. If they don't have a Facebook or a Twitter or anything, I'm like, their pizza must not be good. Probably missing on some really good pizza.
Yeah, and reviews, before we go to any restaurant, we're looking at reviews. So there's a way to integrate that onto your homepage. There's plugins out there that will integrate your Google reviews. So as a business, that social proof is so important. And I know for specific industries like law firms, we have a couple clients that are lawyers, and that is something off the bat that is super important to prove, okay, this is their experience, and this proves that we say what we're going to do and we succeed at what we do. So it's
the
what plugin was it?
Trustpilot, I believe. And you can, if you have those weird dangling negative reviews, you can actually filter in there and say only show 5-star. Or if you want to live on the edge, you can show only 1-star reviews and really just say,
oh man. So remember that company or no, was it a restaurant that the whole premise was like,
yeah, they treat you rudely.
You go to this restaurant and they like roast you, and
yeah, I remember
everything is like bad, right?
Yeah,
New York or
probably.
I thought it was at Rhode Island. No,
I don't know.
I heard about it in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island is just like that in general. Every restaurant, it's like, take your food. Yeah, don't they swear at you and stuff. Maybe they should have 1-star.
Maybe it is in the city. It sounds something uniquely that it would be city based or whatever.
Yeah, I would like to go. I wonder how it would be, like, annoying. I mean, it's the fact, the
I think
interesting
it would be kind of funny if you're open to that, like to have that experience of like, they're doing this because it's a whole fake thing and this is their tone that they want to set. Um, so it could be entertaining, but at the same time, might be a little annoying if depending on what they're calling you and like saying to you,
Yeah.
deal with it. Like if you're like, "Can I have some water?" And they're like, "No, get it yourself," you know?
Yeah. We don't even need to go there. We could just go to something like Olive Garden. Just hope we get a bad waitress. Shout out to Olive Garden, the best fake. You might call it fake, but it's the best Italian food that you can get out there. I said it. Whatever. I
Yeah,
mean, besides my own.
we're nostalgic
Son.
to Olive Garden for a lot of different reasons, but
Yeah.
we haven't had any bad experiences with
No,
them.
people judge me. They're like, "That's not Italian." That's like what's the other thing? It's like the Taco Bell of Mexican food. I don't. That's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
No, that's stupid. It's not even a. It's like apples and oranges. Olive Garden sauce and their meat and their pasta is top notch, and I don't care.
What's
And
your favorite dish? Chicken parm?
yeah, but I
Mine's
also
the tour of Italy, so you get little
is the
samples
tour
of
of Italy.
each.
Yeah, I used to like Papagino's too, which is like a fast food Italian restaurant. So maybe don't. Maybe my taste buds are not. They're not. Don't take my word. Obviously, everybody disagrees, so it's wrong.
Well, back to Olive Garden, Andy's Candies is like the treat at the end that I enjoy.
Yeah, I stuffed my pocket last time. I still have them in my coat pocket. There's like 10 of them
Ew.
from last year. They're still good.
I don't think so.
So we went over homepage UX. There's a lot to it. Obviously, we're skimming the outskirts. Having things at the top, having social proof, having reviews, or some sort of way for them to trust you. Be very straightforward with the verbiage and the imagery, because if it's a picture, I was going to put a beta fish on our site, which is cool and is bold, but it makes no sense either. We could look like a fish store or whatever. But I mean, I know people do it, but we went with something more technical to give that vibe of, oh, they do technical, they don't sell beta fish.
Yeah, I was looking at this design and it was more featuring like really like CSS top level designs, and the whole background of the homepage and throughout the page was like a video of a whale going through a city, and it was just like the whole time, and I'm like, this looks really high modern edge type design, but I had no idea what they did. Like, well, it was in a different language, so I wouldn't have known anyways. But just thinking about your images behind what you do is important, and making sure they're cohesive. And we like to suggest for our clients that you use images that relate to your client and audience, and try to have the most authentic ones. You can use stock. Like, we're not, obviously understand like sometimes getting a great image is hard to do, but just make it relate to what you're looking for your audience. But all the real ones are, I think, the best. Do you agree?
Yeah, real ones, drone shots now that are high quality, just a simple slow motion going around a place of business, a storefront, or an event, whatever the website's for. And for video, I think that whale one was for, I can't reach IDs obviously, but I think it was for that company that does AI, the one you look like visual, what is it called? Augmented reality.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that whale video was something that went viral. And it looked like through a phone. You would look through the phone. It looks like the whales going through the buildings, and even like Z and X wise. I'm talking code, but like in front of buildings and behind buildings and stuff. It's amazing. But yeah, if you don't know what they're doing, but it's almost like a lot of these companies don't have to care, because if you're going to the site, you're expecting some sort of experience and not, this is literally what we do and click here to do this. It's more of that, oh wow, let me look at this now, I get a better respect for the company, I guess. Like there's a whale flying around. It did look cool, but these websites, I don't know if I'm getting old or what, but it's hard to navigate, especially when they replace your mouse cursor and it's a glowing dot like that one was. I don't
Yeah,
know.
some it's like when you're deciding on your design and things, we lean to more simplistic modern design that's just easy to follow and less like in your face, flashing all over the place. I think a common issue that designers get into, or even businesses, they overcomplicate, over design, create all these animations, and not only is that really tough on just your server and like loading for a user, but it's also too much like in your face, like that, I don't know. I feel like that personally. Like if too much is going on, I'm like, this is too much. I gotta get off the site.
Yeah, and we can do some of the stuff that animators do on the website with like animated SVGs and HTML canvas and not Flash. I was going to say Flash, but we do stick to more traditional usable experiences rather than the. And they have team. I mean, these are teams of people that deal with HTML animations and keyframes and stuff. It's just us.
Well, of course, it depends on the industry, right? What the user, what the business is to create that. But for overall businesses that we've worked with in the past, if it was our recommendation is always going to say, well, what's important to you? And if user experience is, then we would suggest this design versus this one. And
Yeah.
it really depends. If it's not, if you're someone who's like, I just want my site to bounce and everywhere you go, it's just bouncing all over the place. And I don't care. This is what my audience, then we can deliver that. We can deliver a bouncing site.
I would love to. Yeah. Marquees going by, you can flip upside down, fade out the opacity, like randomly. Whatever you want. We got this.
But it really depends on what the priority is.
Yeah.
If it's a site that is for a specific event or something like that, and you want that interactivity, and then that's fine. But if the goal is to be found on Google and to have that quick, fast experience, then that's a different conversation. So, um, yeah. So one thing too, just leaning into the events. Some things that we could also and have done for our clients is to create that digital experience. So trade shows, like craft shows are coming up, and being able to connect with someone who's just walking by, but being able to connect with them in a digital way. So Tony, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just converting somebody that's in a physical place to the digital because I don't want to talk to them at a booth. I want to just scan something and whatever it is, the action, sign up or learn more. So we create landing pages. We create external assets like QR codes, custom QR codes too, with the logo inside of it, different designs, different colors, not too crazy because you want someone to still know it's a QR code. But we're able to deliver these assets along with a landing page, optimized landing page, that hopefully people scan and access mobilely responsive on their phone, fill out, and job done, right?
Yeah, exactly. And just on the QR code, we were at a farmer's market in, where were we? Troy. Yeah. Troy's
Oh,
farmer's market last Sunday. Yeah. And we saw a man, he was walking and he had a QR code in his back. And we're digital people. We're like, we need to check that out. We're like scanning his back to see what it's about. And it was a musician.
Yeah, it was a
Did you ever
band.
check out his music or?
No, it wasn't that important. That's kind of the downfall of having because it's so random. You don't know what you're scanning. It could have been anything now that I think about it.
There's curiosity there, though.
Yeah, there's curiosity. I think if it had a message, obviously we're not saying go out and wear a random QR code with no context. That didn't make any sense for me to scan either. But no, I didn't look into his music. It looked like hard rock. I might have liked it, um, but I think having context around a QR code is essential for somebody to, want to scan it. Of course, there's a purpose, move with purpose, and you want to know what you're going to get into before you're putting it on your phone, of course, you know. So having a logo inside of that, or having call to actions around it saying this is what you're going to give and this is what you're going to get in return is important for these landing pages. Yeah, but connecting the digital to the physical is I think it's an important thing that a lot of people forget. You'll make a landing page for just people in the field of expositions or was that the right word?
Craft shows, trade shows, just to be able to be there, you're there interacting, but take it onto a digital where you can provide even more valuable information. So finding ways to not just give out a flyer, but create this interactivity, whether that be, we did a science fair at Shen, and we created a custom game, real versus AI, and the students were going in and playing the game. And that was that interactivity that they were all looking forward to, and just the challenge of, oh, am I going to get this right, and things like that outside of this paper, old way of doing things, put your business card in the fishbowl. That's when I was doing trade shows. They did that.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like that manual follow-up to think about how you can create a digital experience. And Tony has designed specific tablet interaction interfaces for a museum.
That's true. It was an art show, and they were tablet based, like a kiosk, really. So there's no other UI. Person can't get off it unless they tap it 3 times and do the power button trick. But it was pretty much an interactive website, really, that was on the iPad. No Wi-Fi either, so it had to be hosted on the Wi-Fi. I mean, hosted on the iPad, and it was duplicated onto multiple iPads or tablet. I think they were Android tablets, and or a mixture of both. And throughout the museum, person could click on that. So it's crazy that that was literally a website that I made that they used, or we used as a team, as a kiosk, so they're multifaceted, these things. I know we all look at it like, let's go to such and such.com, but it could be used in so many different ways, not like the landing page, the QR code, but getting people there on different devices, whether it's a TV that's set up, maybe a screen, a laptop, whether you're giving it to them via QR code or another way, whether it's on a kiosk and it's just there for them to use. There's like multiple ways to utilize that, tending to your websites and your gardens, kind of thought of the frame of mind. Always keep improving.
Yeah, usually if you have an idea for anything for your event that you want to say, well, how can we make this more digital, more modern to connect? That's a service that we also provide, where we talk to our clients and say, hey, what do you think about X, Y, and Z? So usually it is possible. It's just a matter of like adapting to the times, the digital times, and creating that solution. So those are unique projects that we have worked on in the past, and really are up for the challenge for anything, really. The museum one is really cool and was a great experience. And now we're going into like craft trade show season now that it's summertime, and even come the fall and things like that. I know there's a lot of organizations out there that have planned events to just challenge yourself on how you can create a more digital experience for even those face-to-face interactions. So to really stand out. So
yeah, a business card is not enough. You get a business card and you get home and you forget what it was. You're like, whoa,
or you lose it. It's crumpled in somewhere in your car or your purse or something.
Yeah. The time of business cards is done. I mean, they'll probably come back.
We still use business cards.
Oh yeah, that's right.
For networking and things like that. So they haven't gone away, but
we have to change our business card with a new logo too.
But we have done one where it's like just the QR code, just go straight to the website and have that the main focus. But
yeah, that was my card that I originally designed. Remember, it was just too abstract. There was no call to action on that card. It said, well, this is pre-3Tone. This was Busy Bee.
Yep.
And it just said Busy Bee Marketing, and on the back had a QR code. And you're like,
You
There's no
don't even
context.
have your name.
That was my first.
I was like, I'll let him do it.
Yeah. Usually that's her. I was like, no, I want to try.
A/B test.
Yeah. We have all of them still. Someday I'm gonna just throw them out into a crowd, raining QR code busy bee cards.
No, we should save it and show the evolution of our business.
Yeah, that's true. The business cards through the era. Excuse me. Yeah, so we went over the homepage, and this is a recap. We said pull your weeds out of your garden. We saw our small pepper, which tastes a little earthy, but it's still good. We say dip them in hummus for a raw life, raw living. That's where I found it. I was a YouTube video of this woman who's like, everything raw, nothing cooked. And it's like, you get
all the benefits of just having like vegetables in their natural state. There are a lot of benefits. So
yeah, it's so good.
Some of them, not everything, but
yeah. So what else do you want to talk about? We're what day is this? 11? I think it is. 'Cause it was 10.
Yeah, we're day 11 going live with you guys. It's a celebration, really, because we've done this every day, even on the weekends.
Times come on.
Do you have the confetti? I sent you the confetti.
No, because I would have to put it on that OBS and.
Oh, you can't just share the screen and just do the link I sent you?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to find it.
Just.
You sent it to me in an email?
Yeah.
Oh. Let's see.
So this is actually, let's talk about CodePen, because CodePen is a great tool for developers who are looking to test out their code, CSS, JavaScript, and it's something that we often use. It's free. You can use it, and you can also see what other developers are doing and different techniques that they're using. So I found this, which is awesome. So it's actually you want to click on the emoji.
Which one is the confetti?
All of them.
Oh, they all do it?
So this one, check this out. You click on it, and it's like confetti emoji confetti.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I know it's a little thing, but look at all the code that goes behind it, you know?
Yeah, this CodePen is one of my favorite. I'm always on CodePen. My username is Chickaroni if you want to come visit me. There are some things there that I keep. But yeah, you just edit the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and you can even compile stuff. So if you have like a certain, like I use Sass, you can literally process it in here and export the uncompressed, and you can use Pug, which is like an HTML programmatic language. It's amazing. So what is it for 11? We're saying
Day 10. Oh no, 11. We're 11.
That'd be a better way to do this. Yeah. Well, there's better ways. We're going to set up this something called OBS, which will let us do confetti and effects throughout the screen. But right now,
for now this works for us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was a little anticlimactic, but it is what it is for now. We're getting there.
See, we have a fan of the confetti over here in our comments.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Thank you, Zaid. Big fan of the confetti. Yeah, that's right. Wait, is he the one that? Yeah, you're the one. That's funny. He's the guy that you said, "Oh, we should do that." Remember when at the end of the
Oh yes. I was like, that's such a cool effect. So at the end of your videos, we saw that you do like confetti, and we were inspired. We're like, we need to bring the confetti.
We're like, this is his best.
I know we're not at your level yet, but
don't roast us over that.
We still managed to figure out how to bring the confetti today.
Yeah, thanks for viewing.
Thanks for commenting.
So I have you know what I had?
What?
I have my own final saying.
Oh, you do?
I don't know if it was time yet. Yeah.
Okay. You came up with the beginning one about the weeds. So
yeah, it's actually a continuation of it.
Okay.
With the mascot of the show. You ready?
The show. Okay.
Here he is.
Oh my God.
I wrote this, not ChatGPT.
Oh, it's covering your mouth. You're gonna fall
That's all
asleep.
right. A well-tended website is the secret garden of upward trending and online success. You know? Thank you very much. Yeah. Tend to your garden continuously, and there will be, hopefully, unless you're going the wrong way and you're planting weeds, right? If you're planting the right things, you will cultivate your garden, right? So
Very nice.
thank you very much. I'm gonna hide him. He's
Yeah.
very kind of disturbing.
I don't even know what he is. Is he like a tablet or?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Get him out of here, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Very
so
nice way to end it.
yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow for Friday. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
we'll be in a different location, but we'll be back.
We're gonna do it later when we get there.
We'll figure it out.
All right, I'll play us out.
All right. I hope you guys have a beautiful Thursday. And we'll see
Peace.
you on Friday.